Alright guys, and let me give you a quick little walk around of this thing. This is the V-Strom DL650. It's a 2022 model. This is the bike I got given from my insurance because my 650R got smashed into. The lighting isn't the best. I'm kind of right in the sun, but hopefully you can kind of see what's going on. Don't know if you can see the dash and all that, but got these nice handles here for the pillion, and this little place to put a top box or strap something down to. Got your exhaust. It's massive and ugly and doesn't sound great, but could be worse though. For a stock exhaust, it's not bad actually. And yeah, Suzuki. Not my first time on a Suzuki. It's not a review. I'm too lazy to film a in-depth review. I'm just going to give you my thoughts, feelings and opinions on this bike in the month or so I've been riding it. I've been riding it a lot though, trust me, I've ridden it a lot, so I know how I feel about it. Now a lot of my feelings towards this bike are going to be biased because I came straight from a Honda CBR 650R, and compared to my 650R, this thing kind of sucks. So just to summarize, well, not to summarize, but just to kind of get out of the way with, is it a good bike? It's a perfectly fine bike. I'm not going to write home about it or anything. It's nothing special or amazing. Let's start with the things I do like. It's pretty torquey. I like how torquey it is. It kind of does, it moves, you know. I was a bit worried that this bike wouldn't move. Yeah, it's a, what the heck? Wait, did that say a memorial ground for an aircraft collision? What the heck am I seeing? Hold up guys. B17 memorial ground in memory of 1944 B-17 aircraft collision. Damn, that was ages ago. Okay, I thought maybe there was like a recent crash or something. I was gonna say ain't no way, but okay, that's fine. 1944, given the time period, it makes sense. I'm sure a lot of planes were crashing then. RIP though to whoever, you know what I mean, that's sad and all, but yeah, okay. What was I talking about? Torque, that's it. All right, so I'll give you a demonstration, I guess. I don't want to wheelie. I don't know if that means anything to you or if that helps you see how torquey the bike is. I don't know. But there you go. It feels good. It's got power. Yeah. Yeah, considering it's a V-twin engine, you'd expect it to be a bit peppy. What do I like about this bike? It's comfy. It's comfy. I like, maybe for my, I'm 6'1", so for my arm length and my, like this, bro, this fits me perfectly. This was made for me. Like, the handles are the perfect distance away for me to reach everything. It's just perfect. Like, this is much better than my 650R. Like, I'll be honest, I look like a oversized gorilla riding a motorcycle when I ride my 650R. This, even how my legs grip the tank, it feels good. My legs aren't cramped, and the seat is fairly comfortable. I know I'm still on the positive things, but the seat after a while does get a little bit uncomfy. It's not as comfortable as I think an adventure bike seat should be, but it's good enough. Like, I'm just kind of nitpicking. Like, it's okay. Like, you have to be sitting on it for a good while, like a good few hours, before you start to notice any pain in the butt. What else do I like about the bike? I like that you can change the traction control. I'm not the biggest adventure bike fan. In fact, I don't really like adventure bikes at all, really, to be honest. Jesus, the wind just started going crazy. Yeah, I don't really like adventure bikes in general. But I will be honest, this bike, the look of it is growing on me. Now when I first got it I thought, ugh, going from a 650R to this is a bit of an eyesore. But honestly, it's growing on me. I don't hate it as much anymore. I think it's quite good looking actually. When you look at the bike, it looks pretty big. You know, being an adventure bike, it's all kind of tall and, you know, a bit wideish at the front, and it seems like it's heavy and a bit, you know, clunky and stuff. But when you ride it, like now I'm on it, it is surprisingly flickable and light. Like I like it, man. It's confidence inspiring when you ride it, in that sense that it's easy to maneuver and manage. So I do like that about it. That's very good. There might be other things that I like about it that I'll mention a bit later, but for right now I can't think about anything else that's good. So I'm just going to go straight to the bad stuff, because I won't have to think. I know exactly what I don't like about it. I'm going to start off with the dash. Oh, why is the wind doing this? I'm going to try and wait for the wind to cool down a bit. Alright, doesn't seem like the wind wants to stop, so sorry. I apologize for the audio quality, but I'm just going to fight through it. Yeah, the dash. This is pathetic. Like, for a 2022 bike, this is pretty sad. I don't like this. It's preference. Everybody's different. You might think this is more than enough, and yeah, there is information here. I do like that you can change your traction control and things like that. You've got your temperature gauge, your fuel gauge. Actually, one thing I like is that it has that the CBR 650R doesn't have. Well, I don't know if it has. The new one has it. The 2024 might have it, but my one didn't have it. Is a range meter, or a range gauge. Also, these buttons and controls, I think they could look a bit more sleek. Well, all of the Suzukis kind of have this same button setup, most of them anyway. So they've kind of just ripped the same old ones from the older models. I think they could do with a bit of a revamp, in my opinion, but that's just a nitpick. That's not that big of a deal. Now this is just strictly me, but I have no idea how to change the time. Right now it is not 9:04. Now I refuse to research it, and I refuse to look in the manual how to do it. I refuse. It shouldn't. I shouldn't need to research it. I didn't have to research it for any bike I've ever had. I've just figured it out. Like, it, you know, it's kind of common sense. So either one of these buttons doesn't work, or it's busted, or this is just insanely complicated. And nobody tell me in the comments either. No, I don't even want to know anymore. Screw this stupid instrument cluster and its dumb buttons. The audio just sounds, I don't know, I can't get the audio to. I used to be able to go on the motorway fine. I could go up to like about 75 and still talk, and you could hear me perfectly fine. Now I don't know, I just can't get the audio how I had it perfect. I literally had it perfect before. The next thing I'd say I probably don't like about this bike is this. Now again, you can take this off, so that's not a big deal. It's not really a downside to the bike in general, but this little windshield that they give you, it doesn't really do much. Now here's the thing, it does shield the wind, yes. However, maybe for my height where I sit, the wind currently is blowing at the top of my helmet. So when I go fast enough, it kind of makes my helmet shake, and it makes my head shake, and it's really uncomfortable. It actually gives me a headache. Now I think it can be adjusted to push it out and pull it in and put it up and down. So with a bit of adjustment, I'm sure you could fix that. I don't feel wind on my chest or like my face, but then I feel wind on my head and like my gut or my stomach area. And if I do this and crouch, then I feel that wind on my face. So it's like there's no real perfect position. Again, I'm sure if I adjust this to fit my height, it would be fine. I'm kind of nitpicking about nothing. I don't like the shifting on the bike. Now it's an adventure bike, it doesn't have to be super buttery smooth or, you know, super high quality or anything, but I do like that when you shift gears, you know you've shifted gears. It isn't all spongy. You feel it, like it proper clicks into gear, but at the same time it does feel very clunky. I don't know if this, but I know some Suzukis have this. I'm sure this one must have it as well, where it has this like feature to make you not stall. So like if you're in like first, for example, like now, and if I let go of the clutch, nope, it stalled. Alright, forget that. Okay, I don't know what it is at this bike, but I find when I'm doing slow maneuvers, without me touching the gear shifter, it's like the bike isn't sure if it's in first or second gear, and it's really, I don't even know how to explain what I'm trying to say. But on the gear indicator, because it's got a gear indicator, so it shows I'm in first gear now, and then now it shows I'm in second gear. When I'm doing slow speed maneuvers, I notice that sometimes it switches from first to second and then back to first, and then to second again and then back to first. I haven't touched the shifter or the clutch for that matter. I don't know why it does that. And then I find anytime it does that, I then struggle to shift into neutral to park the bike. So normally I do a lot of slow maneuvers to get my bike in my yard before I park up the bike, and it's always a struggle to find neutral because it's doing all of this nonsense. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a feature, but it's very annoying. I don't understand how that works or why it does that, or there could be something wrong with this particular bike, but it's quite annoying. The handling, I said the bike feels limbo and easy to move and yada yada yada. That is all true. However, I don't feel confident going around certain bends or corners, and I don't feel comfortable leaning the bike. Again, I'm coming from a sports bike to an adventure bike. It's not going to handle the same. It's not going to feel as good doing certain things. I get that, but this feels particularly bad at doing those things. Now, it did get better the more I rode the bike, because I kind of got used to it. I kind of learned what the bike wanted to do and what it doesn't want to do, so because of that I kind of better know how to deal with that. I think it's just a Suzuki problem, because I found this as well when I rode the SV650, Suzuki SV650. I rode one of those and I had the same exact feeling. Something about Suzuki bikes, it feels like the wheels do not want to stay connected to the tarmac or connected to the road. It's like they want to slide from underneath you. Like the Suzuki's trying to do everything in its power to throw you on the ground. It's like, why is this bike trying to kill me, man? It could be down to the sketch tires that's on this bike. I actually didn't check what tires are on the bike. Oh, Bridgestone. Hang on. Oh my god, Battle Axe Adventure. All right. Bridgestone Battle Axe Adventures. I say oh my god because pretend that never happened, okay? Anyway, the reason I said oh my god is because that's the same tires, almost the same tires that I had on my 650R, which I thought were perfectly fine tires. On my 650R I had I think they were called Battle Axe Sport Max or something like that. Basically this is the Battle Axe Adventure. I had the sporty versions. So I'm not going to blame the tires. I'm not going to blame the tires. Or what I'd say is maybe it's even something to do with the weight distribution. I don't know, but there's one particular corner I normally go around when I'm going to work, and this bike, no matter how many times I've done it, no matter how prepared I am for it, I never feel safe going around that corner on this bike. It's like when I'm leaning, it's like the front part of the bike, it's so heavy, or it's just, I don't know, the center of gravity is so shifted different to how I'm used to it being, that it just feels so uncomfortable going around that corner. Anyway, another thing I don't quite like about this bike is the rear brakes. The front brakes are pretty good, can't fault them. The rear brakes suck, like I mean suck. Also the ABS on this, like this, I know the bike has ABS. When I brake or I go on the brakes, if you go on them slightly aggressively, even slightly, you think the ABS would kind of save you. Nah, these wheels are locking up so quick. They just lock up straight away. Like when I first got the bike, I almost fell off the bike like so many times because the ABS was just like, nope, I'm not gonna do my job. So just be careful. Now it depends actually, because this is supposedly an adventure bike, so yeah, that might be a good thing to some adventure riders, because I know some of them don't like when ABS and other rider aids get in the way of their adventure riding. But for me, I appreciate ABS. And yeah, it feels like this bike does not have ABS. Now I'm sure if it didn't have ABS it would be much worse. I'm sure the ABS is there and it is being effective, but it doesn't feel like it. And that rear wheel especially locks up way too easy, way too easy. And okay, even if you say, okay, maybe the rear brakes don't have ABS, okay, even so, the front ones still feel a bit dodgy as well. Personal preference issues. So for example, it's not as fast as my CBR 650R, and it's kind of slow and boring. Obviously, because I was coming from a sports bike to now an adventure bike. I don't like how this sounds. Again, I'm coming from an inline 4 with a full acropovic titanium exhaust to a V-twin 650 adventure bike with a stock exhaust. Obviously it's not going to sound as good, so I'm not going to hate on the bike for that, but it does make me enjoy it much less. However, I will say, hell of a lot nicer to commute to work on. Not as fun to commute, I don't get to work as fast, and it's not as easy to filter with because, well, this and these and yeah, instead of a little sleek sports bike. But it is more comfortable. Lord, is it more comfortable. It is much more comfortable to commute. The upright position is good, the seat is more comfortable, the riding style is just more relaxed. It's good. This is definitely better at commuting than my bike is or was. Very similar to the CBR 650R. What I find with this is that, well, like any engine, if you give it the beans, if you really rev the hell out of it, you're gonna see that fuel gauge go right the way down really quickly. That's how any vehicle is, I mean, obviously. However, I would have thought when I'm a bit more tame and gentle with the throttle, the fuel consumption and the miles per gallon would be better, but it isn't actually that much better, to be honest. This thing, I don't know if it can actually show me my no, oh, there we go, miles per gallon, 97.1. what the heck? Well, that doesn't make me look like I know what I'm talking about. Now I look like an idiot. How the hell is it gonna say? Is that my average though? That can't be right. Wait, let me check. Oh, there we go. Now it says 47.1. Oh, that gave me a scare. I was like, no way. I was like, how the heck are you gonna tell me 99.1? Okay, it had to calculate it for a bit. That makes more sense. 47, that sounds about right. Which, I mean, isn't terrible, but I mean, that's worse than what my 650R used to get. But yeah, all in all, it's been an interesting experience. As I said, this wasn't really a review, it was just kind of me rambling on about my thoughts on the Suzuki DL650. What I prefer out of a bike, I'm not really getting from this, and there's a lot of things I miss from my CBR, obviously, but the bike is fine. The bike's a perfectly fine bike. So ask any questions you want to ask in the comment section. I'll try and edit this in the way that makes the most amount of sense, if that's even possible. Thanks for watching, take care, like the video please, thank you, and goodbye.